Greetings once more. The story continues. The next chapter in our adventures, Korvosa finds itself at peace. But there still is much turmoil boiling beneath the surface, while the crowds and the mobs have subsided. While peace seems to gain, anger boils over, disagreements, and perhaps worse. The city, though quieter, remains at a knife's edge. Will something come and trigger it? Well, our heroes have a chance to take a breath after this excitement. So we shall see if this is just another breath in a long series of them. Or perhaps the last few breaths that they have when the end comes. Welcome, one and all, to the Crimson Queen. I hope everybody's having a great week. I'm, of course, your DM here at Dracovin, joined by my intrepid crew of adventurers. Which, since we are in a new chapter, I just want to kind of have a little bit of reintroduction. Sel will give one here, just as a kind of shout-out, since we are at a kind of middle ground. And then we'll... each person, as we kind of do, I want you to kind of list off also what you plan to do during... Effectively, you have 2 weeks of downtime before... the crowning event will be on the 13th day. You will receive a message from Cressida Croft to come meet with her. So that's kind of what you have to expect on day 13. So up until then, you've got 2 weeks. You have, sorry, 15. I'm not doing math for a second there. That's tired brain. So I like going clockwise here. So Joe, why don't you give a brief reintroduction to your character, and then say what your plans are for this downtime. And we will run through the plans if there's any kind of scenes or things that we have to do before we get to that Cressida Croft thing. I'm just going to let just so I also have note of it. You're muted.
I am muted.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I am Khandes Elemental Claw. I am a Primalist Urban Abyssal Bloodrager.
It's a hell of a... Yes.
Yeah.
Something, all right.
I'm also a Suli. My race is Suli.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm part Jinn. And I'm one of the Shanti people.
Mm-hmm.
During my downtime, I think Adamantine Heart and I are probably going to be going to see Thousand Bones about recovering the sun, and also I'm going to do a little shopping and get a +1 weapon.
Gonna get your... well, I'm assuming you're probably going to get your weapon.
My Lucerne my Lucerne hammer.
Mm-hmm. You probably have to pay for like someone to cast masterwork on it and then enchant or something, I guess, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't... there's a process there.
It's the same difference of either selling the hammer at half price, buying a new one, and that is +1 and
yeah, it's not much of a big difference, yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, Sal's going to join us a little later, probably before break. So maybe like around like 10 to 10:30, I assume. So we'll have them do their stuff and say things before then. But Tavel, Lynn.
Hi, I'm Tavel, a ranger half-elf. I've just been trying to find a new path in life, and during downtime, probably just gonna get some new equipment.
Okay. Keep it pretty simple. Excuse to send some of the money you've gained. Yeah. Okay. Momo with Iona.
Hi, I'm Momo playing Iona Movici. I am everyone's favorite local Dhampir wizard who may or may not be a necromancer. Cannot comment on that currently, nor will I.
Are a necromancer? Are you a bad necromancer?
No comment. I will be spending my downtime mostly dealing with stuff related to Ivona's family, and maybe some necromancy research.
Okay. And of course, Worm playing Ada / Adamant Heart.
Yes. I am Worm playing Ada, or Adamant Heart, Ada to friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to do, and for my downtime, I mean, besides saying 1,000 bones, I don't think there's much I can get right now that I want.
Mm-hmm.
Might need to look at maybe the price of selling some of this stuff, but yeah, no, I need 4,000 GP. Something I considered doing, and this is more something with Khandes, seeing if I could find a way to get custody of if it's possible to get custody of Zerelda Esmeranda's house.
That's difficult, and honestly, you have like 5 years of squatting before it matters.
Okay, then I'll clean up her house. How about that?
That's what Lamb did. He found places that had just recently been abandoned and no one could like claim very easily, and then you've got about 5 years before Korvosa comes in and actually takes it over.
See, the thing is, though, we do have a ghost who could, in theory, if she owned the place, give it to us.
Theoretically, yes, and technically she's more of a magic item, but also a ghost. It's weird.
So she could, in theory, write a post-mortem will.
I don't think she can write anything, but she could also probably tell you where, like, you could just find, like, the deed to her house in the house.
Oh, that could work.
Yeah. You know.
I kind of want to clean it up. Just
That's
turn
fine.
it into a little place for us.
Yeah, I'd help you clean it up.
Mm-hmm. That could be easily arranged if you want to try to make that as a kind of location for you and your group. It does make for a good meeting place, and for if people need to send a message to the group, they can send a letter too. Anyway, so yes, after Blackjack stole away Trinia and disappeared into the city, things riled up a little bit, but not enough to have more riots, but certainly to have, like, a lot of talk around the city. And things seem still on edge, but nothing has boiled over, and things are quieter still. I call the city akin to something of being under, like, a vague sense of martial law, almost. You know, there's a lot of military out from the 3 main sources. Actually 2 at this point in time. The Sable Company, seemingly, as you had heard, was being reorganized. So you're not really seeing a lot of them. You are seeing the Korvosan Guard, and of course the Order of the Nail, around. Seemingly trying to maintain order still. And you can have your chances to spend money. And I guess we'll do Ada, you, and Khandes' meeting with Thousand Bones if you want to arrange to go and meet with him. It's very acceptable. So it doesn't take a lot to head to the portion of the city where Thousand Bones is. So I'll put the portion of the city map here. So,
How did you finally get the city map set up?
well...
Oh, wait, you did that last time, never mind.
You've got a map under the handouts that you can check out. So, Thousand Bones, though connects to the city a lot, still makes his home in East Shore. Whereas some of the people you met with him are in various other places of the city. He would be found in East Shore along with a lot of the other the main contingent of Shawanti in the city kind of are in that region on the other side of the river. He probably will arrange for you to come to like a small area that's a meeting hall for Shawanti people that is basically built into what once was probably originally a tavern it was built at, but the Shawanti people have gotten it under 1,000 bones and has kind of converted it to a more like as a ceremonial meeting hall for people where they need to address things and come to. It still functions to a degree as a bar, but it's honestly tends to be mostly taken care of by Shawanti people with a couple others that tend to be, local friends of the people, or like people from, sometimes some of the dock workers will come over here too. So I'm sure Khandes, you've been over here with some of your fellow dock workers that
Yeah.
when you were being brought over by, of course, Screeching Bird or Navin.
Yeah.
So there's some simple, chatting and going on here, and you can approach Thousand Bones, who was in the middle of, he's finishing up chatting with a number, with what seems to be a younger couple that seems to advising him about marriage. You can kind of overhear. As he parts ways with them, he turns towards the two of you and he says, Elemental Claw, Adamant Heart. It is good for you to arrive.
Good to see you, Thousand Bones.
Thank you. My grandson's body, though mangled, has been returned. The proper ceremonies and burials for him, with honors, have been made.
Happy
That
to hear
is
it.
good to hear. We are glad that we were able to return his remains to you.
I convinced his brothers to stay in the city, but my son has decided to leave and turn back to our tribal home. Though war is not on the horizon for this day, I fear that, should some more things happen, he will not be a great voice towards peace. But as long as... I don't know if he'll fight me or not. At least my other grandchildren are trying still and believe in what I have been trying here. It's hard.
Peace for another day is still peace.
Still, this is a place of meetings and chattings and drinkings, celebration,
Yes.
merriment. Relax. Enjoy yourselves here.
Thank you.
I sit down.
Is there anything else that you needed from me while you are here? I'm sorry. But yes, Ada, I did need to speak to you because you were sent to me. Ada, I'm sorry that we have no word of your younger sibling. There had not been enough power in the city to reach out as much, and when I heard you were coming, I did extend some feelers. It seems as though you had some form of discovery that led you on the path matched with young Elemental Claw here.
Sadly, that path has dried up. Now I'm not sure where to look again.
Well, your kind is quite rare in these areas. I'm sure some eyes and ears can be kept out. I will keep word that your since I assume you found evidence of your sibling's life, that they are around somewhere and could be sought.
The only evidence I have is the word of a man who stole children.
Nonetheless, I would be for you to believe whether he was lying or telling the truth to you at the time.
There was no reason for him to lie. In fact, there was every reason for him to tell the truth. Hurt more. Probably did.
Well, you have become a child of our people. We shall help look after you and seek your sibling.
Thank you. If you have any word, you can send it to this address.
At least you found a place to be staying.
Say an old acquaintance is letting us. Old house.
Now, Khandes, you ignored it before. But now that you've seemingly found some form of either justice or revenge, would you seek my offer that I had previously? The place where you stayed with your brother is filled with too many terrible memories. It is not right to dwell in such a past. I offered my house to you. You were my responsibility in this city, next to that of your brother's. It was I that still saw the rite of passage, and you had that right to become an adult, no matter what your tribe had said before from the actions previously. Fear was not something I would give in to.
I will graciously accept.
He's going to put a hand on your shoulder and be like,
I agree it is time to let the past rest.
I've seen many scrappy individuals come into the city, but you and your brother were always ones that I took a particular liking to. You had a fire in your eyes and in your hearts that you brought with you once you left your home, and the spirit of your brother, even if he fell into some form of trappings, I'm sure it was still there. I will live up to that spirit and ensure that you have some form of safety.
Thank you.
Now, let us
To new beginnings.
enjoy ourselves for now.
Agreed.
We have peace in the city, at least for a time. Let us watch
About a week. Or two.
and understand. Alright, and you'll enjoy some time with the Thousand Bones and the Shwanti people in the city.
Catching up, probably telling some stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the only other person that kind of mentioned wanting to do something, Momo. What would you want to do other than spending?
Okay. Sit up in my chair.
What's
okay.
Ivona planning?
Ivona would ask if anyone in the party would be willing to accompany her back to the Grey to visit a grave.
I mean, once we're done our stuff, I would join you.
Same.
Tavel, what about you?
Just some shopping, hanging out with the group. That's it.
Would you want to join going to with a Ivona to the grave.
Tavel likes Ivona.
Yeah. Okay. So, you'll all head to the grave. And I'll leave Lucia in some kind of like, maybe there, maybe not, like, you
I might
know.
be back in a few minutes, according to this
Yeah,
Discord
so
post.
just said he just got back. He'll be on in a few minutes. So.
I'm gonna have to rearrange everybody, but that'll be fine. I'll
Yeah, it happens.
you know, I
'Tis unfortunate.
yeah. But you can chat while I'm doing that. Anyway, so, you'll head to the Grey, certainly under different circumstances, and, you know, to a slightly different section, too. As much as your betrothed wasn't very deep into their job, they were related to the guards. And so he ended up with a slightly better burial than your average citizen would have been.
Didn't just huck him into a pit, you know?
I mean, at least that's a lot of the poor. There's a lot of poor in the city.
Tucked into some ditch.
Well, I mean...
There's some actual burials, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a large graveyard.
Yeah.
Built on top of another graveyard.
Yeah, built on top of another graveyard.
Yeah. There might also be a third graveyard there, too,
Oh,
I'm pretty
probably.
sure. Yeah.
Graveyard on a graveyard on a graveyard that's on a graveyard.
They just keep building on top of them. It's a bad idea, but no one ever listens. Anyway, alright, so you'll arrive in the Grey. There's just something about arriving in the Grey that
Can't swing a
feels like...
necromancy spell without reviving someone.
Yeah, it always feels as though there's like... The Grey is just, for some reason, always very, Grey in the literal sense.
You know, I gotta be careful if I sneeze, I might raise a zombie or two. With all the corpses around here.
Needs a zombie.
Just like, see, like, there's like person, like, you know, like, burying someone under like a zombie, like, nah, get back in that grave! Get back in there!
With a shovel.
Damn it! Goddamn leftover necromantic energies! Back! Back, I say! Get in there with the rest of them! No, it is a problem in the grave. That's why there's a lot of...
that's why there's a church of Pharasma here.
That's why the church is specifically built there, to be like, well, we'll take care of the problem.
We'll kill all the zombies.
But
by we mean the level 3 or 4 shitters we find to do it for us.
Yeah. You'll arrive at the aforementioned grave. A very simple grave. Not much of a very fancy marker, but a marker of some kind. Effectively, all it's got on it is a name and a date of death. No other information, but again, they kept it simple.
Ivona would kind of just, for a few moments, stare at the grave. Holy shit, cells here. As a loading thing of doom.
Alright, hello.
Welcome.
My sound wasn't working.
Nice.
Can you hear us now?
It works now.
Huzzah!
Like that old commercial, can you hear us now?
We got here just in time to visit Ivona's grave.
Yeah.
Or Ivona's...
Yeah, my grave. You're gonna put me in it, I
Oh.
guess.
Well, you're like a Starian, so I have to stake.
Hey, I'm not a... I don't have Astarian's teeth. I didn't take that racial trait, alright?
I was gonna say that's high
Hey,
stakes.
don't forget, you can always retrain racial traits.
Look, are you gonna just, like, find the steak you slept with and stab me?
Don't you all keep your back pocket stakes? You know, it's right next to your phone.
I normally eat
I mean-
my steak.
I was about to say yes, but you know,
I don't know if you want to keep a steak in your pocket. It might go a little rotten after a few days, you know?
I mean, wood's fine.
It's only for traveling.
as long as it's dried and salted.
Exactly.
That's like the worst way to keep a steak. Like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't want to
like
go with
get any
cuts.
lower quality cut of meat.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
This is my jerky. I made it out of steak.
Get some rump or something.
Steak
Rub.
is just cow meat, though.
Yeah, I
Isn't
mean
it?
it's a specific.
I mean,
steakers are specific cut. and
We're not
specific
saying
parts of the cow.
sirloin.
Yeah.
And technically, you could have other than beef steak, you know.
Yeah, you can have
technically.
like pork steak,
Or
Salmon
chicken
steak.
salmon
Yeah.
steak.
Anyway,
Tuna steak.
yeah, we'll check in with Lucia in a
Okay,
minute,
that is
but
a
we'll do this scene first. So you're all at the graveyard.
Yeah.
We're at Ivona's fiance's grave.
Rest in
Let's
peace.
see. Yeah, he died. He got stabbed in
Get
an alleyway.
fucked. Sorry.
I cast Finger of Death on a level 20 character, actually.
I cast no you. It's level 100.
Yeah, Ivona will just kind of stare at the grave for a few moments. Before kind of kneeling in front of it. And offering some silent prayers in a language I don't know if anyone here speaks.
Well, I
Language?
probably don't.
It's Varisian.
I do speak it.
Alright, you understand.
do.
It's a simple Pharasma prayer.
I do not.
Joe and I speak Shanti.
I also
Yes.
speak that.
I speak
I
common
speak
and I speak
Draconic.
Shanti.
I
Next
also
level,
speak Draconic, because
probably.
wizards just get Draconic.
Yeah, because that's the magic one.
My list of languages is long.
Mine's also
Wait,
Hi,
I
English.
You can just hit that button.
there you go. That's all mine.
There you go.
I have a 10 intelligence.
Nice.
Same.
And that's thanks to the first stat up we got.
So, after your prayer goes, there will be a kind of like you'll hear a noise as, of course, traveling through this area at least, there is a simple groundskeeper. You know, you are in the nicer section, well, one of the nicer sections of the Grey, not the giant hole in the ground parts of it. So they do have some groundskeepers who walk the area, and he seems to be, you know, just checking on stuff at the area, and kind of will give a nod as he passes by to your group, trying to keep his distance so as not to interrupt you. Looks to be going into an area to mark out where another grave will be opened up. Probably soon.
See. Fair enough.
Go quiet continues for a few moments.
Ivona will slowly get back up. And turn to the rest of you. Thank you for helping with this. I know I've kept a lot of things about me secret.
It's understandable. It can be hard to open up about these things.
Well, I don't know what it's worth, but and this will be directed to you, Ada, I promise you that I won't, if it can be within my power, I won't let your sibling end up in a grave.
Very much. Ada looks at the grave, kind of. You kind of see a flash of. Oh gosh, what would that be like? It's like a mixture of like, basically it's that look of like, I hope so too, but like I'm also like not 100% confident. Hard to explain.
We will find them.
So what was he like?
He was a he was a city guard. He always believed in trying to do right by the law, and, well, I don't know why, but it got him killed.
I think you'd be proud of our work so far. Done a lot to help the city. Time of turmoil.
I thought killing Lamb would make me happy, but it really didn't. I was prepared to do a lot of terrible things to Lamb. I wanted him alive to make him feel the way I felt. I guess thank you for killing him, so I didn't do that.
It wouldn't have been worth it. At least you can't hurt anyone else now.
There may be a zombie in somewhere.
Well, if he is a zombie, I can at least seize control of him and, you know, destroy him that way.
Stop hitting yourself.
Stop zombieing yourself.
If he is a zombie, he truly is living a fate worse than death.
Fair.
I could always use
Is
a
that in
pet.
character?
Let's just end it if it's a zombie. Not make anything go longer than it needs to. Better for the psyche.
Well, I'm finished here, I think. Do you want to maybe get dinner or something?
Indeed. I'll give you a light clap on the back.
Anybody going in particular, just finding like a place outside the Gray that's like a local
Just
place?
probably somewhere decently nice.
Sure.
Not too far from here.
Yeah, you can find a pretty nice looking tavern in North Point. Simple corner kind of place. Little outside the dock areas. Certainly with a very nice flair. Good drinks, good food. Some decent music, you know. Nothing super fancy, but just all around. Pretty nice time. So, now we turn towards Cell. So, as now that you've been able to join us, when we started today, because it's technically like our next chapter of the story, I had everybody give a loose introduction and say what they wanted to do during your downtime. So, why don't you do the loose introduction of Lucia and give us what you wanted to do during the downtime of about 2 weeks?
Yeah, you know, a lot of things I considered to do during that downtime. Sadly, not a lot of great witch spells to learn in the first place.
No, there's not.
So, not a lot of spell research, I think, happening. So I think it's mostly, you know, no real magic items to buy. I think it's a lot of, you know, holding down the fort, you know? Like, making sure people are...
Oh. Well, did you see in chat the gold we got? Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. I'm still debating in my head. Because before this I couldn't afford it, but now I could. If I want to get gloves of the healer.
Did we remove the things that we sold?
I'll go back
No,
and remove them later.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what we were... Yeah.
Alright.
Well, certainly, like, for all of you, certain things will be happening. Like,
I mean, I would have had to visit you at some point, because you're the one with the hero card deck, and I wouldn't I want...
Yeah.
Huh? Oh,
No, continue. I'm listening.
basically, I wanted to ask Esmeralda about like her house and because I wanted to clean that up and make it.
Hey, can we have your
base
house,
operation.
please?
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, so I think I'm mostly just, I just checked. I can't even buy the gloves of the healer, so like I'm just gonna, tend to people, continue studying my witchery. Can't really tell a wizard.
Certainly, things will begin to open up a little bit in Korvosa. Things like Ivona, your mother, will have her tavern and place reopen. Lucia, the church will continue to do its services, but will kind of settle down a little bit. Certainly, there was a lot of people and refugees there. Khandes, if you want to return to work, docks are reopening, but certainly you may have found a new lot in life, so you aren't expected to return.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably stop by and, let, I forgot his name off the top of my head.
Tavel, if you want to play this out more, let me know, but there will be...
Screeching bird.
Screeching bird, thank you.
Yeah, Screeching bird.
Yes.
Sorry.
There will be something that will occur. A member of the Sable Company will come to meet you. Former member. And very at least give, just to basically give apologies for everything that happened with the case that was against you. And just, just to say that it never felt right about them, and it's just unfortunate that since the Sable Company is in reformatting in a quite different way, many of them have found less place there. And because of that, maybe you've avoided some kind of a problem. Maybe not. Just that hopes that things can get better now. And just sort of apologizing for everything that happened along with that. Felt like a bad rap was given to you.
Yeah, they kind of mess up everything for a while, but it seems like I didn't need the Sable Company anyway.
Well,
I
good
appreciate
luck.
the apologies, though.
Yes. Look, you did seem promising as a recruit. I will say this: the person that was recruiting you, was leading you in. I wish you luck. I'm personally going to be heading out of the city. Got some family in Magmar. An old soldier like myself, well, if I'm not wanted here, I'll find another place to either retire or maybe they need someone there to help do something. A little below what I've had for skills, but I love Korvosa, but the city's... something's changing in the wind. I hope it's for the better, but I don't know.
It's definitely a lot different than it was a week and a half ago. Well, you did help me out of a tough spot many times. So, I hope you find something worth fighting for in Magmar.
Yeah, if you ever find yourself out west, look me up.
Sure thing.
Part ways.
I never liked him anymore.
He was probably a hard ass, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like your drill sergeant that you had that was like the trainer / recruiting guy, He's been humbled by the kind of disbandment of the Sable Company, and now, Anyway. Alright. So
Actually,
go ahead.
there's something. Sorry, it's been busy week for me, okay?
That's okay, I understand the
Oh,
feeling.
something my character would do. Would actually be, first of all, to become better friends with the whom you call it? What's his name? I need to open that. Should have done that. The dudes that I have that been friends. Where's his name?
Are we talking about the
noble dudes?
The Gelento family.
The Gelentos, yes.
Sure.
More friendly with them, and I'm probably gonna be looking into what my family is doing at the moment. Looking into that.
Certainly, yes. You can spend some time getting in better with the Gelento family. That's not too difficult. They certainly have taken a shine to you and the rest of the group in particular. So, if you want to focus on that, you can. And Amin seems definitely a little smitten, but kind of like in the hero syndrome kind of smitten. You feel like with you, from your rescue and heroics.
I make it very obvious that this is a no.
I mean, it's less like romantic, more like, you're my hero kind of thing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
You'd still be like, no, to this man.
I mean, I'm not really. It was kind of Tav. Tavel kind of did it, actually.
Yeah, but Tavel's one of those pores.
Tavel also, what do you call it? Didn't really talk to him afterwards. So I guess there's that.
Yes. That's probably another reason why I kind of like latched onto your side with the heroics, and stuff like that. Yeah. You communicated with him.
Oh my god. This guy is just, he was a NEET, and now he's not. Sorry.
I mean, he's probably was like, going to the bad side of town to like, get some stuff or do some kind of things on the edge of society. It's like, man, I'm rebelling by like, man, going to this brothel over at Old Korvosa, or like, getting these, substances which are, not quite illegal, but sort of, or something like that. He was totally a, quotation, bad boy, and now he's kind of like more on the up and up because of you.
I don't like that.
Yeah, well, now he's not. He's reformed.
I mean, he really wasn't. He was kind of just
I know.
It was one of those people who, like, think
but now he's gonna try to do
bad,
good.
But really aren't.
Yeah.
And now he can actively do good. But yeah, so I'm buddying up with him, trying to get connections.
It sounds like your family has positioned itself into a much better position with the new regime.
Great.
What
might
that
be
means, you're not quite sure, but that seems to be that they've basically used the changes that have happened to solidify more of their power.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, interesting to note.
So, it will be about 2 weeks when...
One more thing I wanted to do.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm gonna go... Ivona's gonna go to her mother.
Okay.
Probably
at the bar,
Probably like when it's not a busy time where there's time to talk.
Probably earlier in the morning then, There's probably a couple stragglers there, like either, coming off of like overnight stuff and stuff like that, but mostly it's pretty quiet.
I'm gonna kind of just walk up, like I guess sit down at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And just ask, so, about Dad.
She'll kind of take pause for a second and be like, certainly you've asked questions before. What is it you want to ask now?
In Varisian, he was a vampire?
So, probably the story she gave was like he was a merchant on a ship, you know, and came into his bar, you know, her bar, you know. They, you know, had a tryst, you know, he left on his ship, that kind of thing. And that was kind of kept simple like that, you know, that was the story she held. She'll take a kind of like a bit of a gasp breath and then kind of like, I don't know if that's what I would call what he was, but he wasn't. He certainly was otherworldly.
I see. I don't suppose you would know anything about him now, would you?
Yes and no. I know he came from where he came from. And the story was told that he ran into some trouble there and was forced to flee his home. Ended up on the ship. I don't know where his final destination was going to be, though.
I see. Well,
I know where that ship was headed, but I don't know where that he would have stayed there or moved on. The ship was bound for Arcadia, one of the Chalaxian colonies.
well, I at least intend to try and learn something about him. To try and know what I am.
You're my daughter. I think that's important enough. And I did love your father. I tried to convince him to stay. But I think in a way, he did love me too. I knew whatever our relationship was, it would have probably killed me if we kept going. I don't think he knows about you, because he left before I would have passed.
I don't intend to try and get you two back together. I just need to know why I am the way I am. See it for myself.
I do have a few things that I can give you. Things left over that he left behind. The ship was moored here for about a month. He left with them, but he left some things behind. I only briefly looked into it. Seemed to tell where the ship came from, and I got the name of the ship. I can give you that. Maybe you can learn more if you traveled to where he came from. I don't know if his enemies would be yours or anything like that, but that's what I can give you.
Would be some time before I would attempt anything such as that. There are things in the city I still need to do, and I don't have the wealth to travel that far. And I'd be remiss to leave my new friends so soon.
She'll kind of shake her head.
And I can't leave you to deal with all the bar work alone.
Thanks. So yes, there will be some information just on basically the region that seems to be where your father departed from when he fled Vudra. And again, like, the ship was a regional ship of the area, and it seems as though your father had a stake in it from the information provided.
Where was he from?
Technically from Impata, the capital of Vudra. From the impossible kingdoms of Vudra.
Quite far.
It's pretty far away.
It's pretty far away. It's just Kazmaron is pretty far away. Actually.
Yeah.
And then, the ship was then bound for across the Arcadian Ocean. Where it would go after that, it was unknown. But theoretically, it could have headed back to Vudra, or it could have been stationed out of there, especially if it decided to stay in Arcadia, or it could have gone somewhere else. But crossing the ocean to Arcadia is a difficult journey, so it explains why they took like a month to prepare for it.
Yeah.
You know, you're sailing around the Aslant wreckage.
Yeah, and it's like Eldritch horror out there. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. You
Like
know,
Cthulhu or something.
yeah. So they send people over there. You know, as I said, technically speaking, Cheliax has a colony over there. So, a couple of them. They mostly do okay. Mostly. So. But that could be a thing for future you to worry about. But that's information on the kind of where things went.
Okay. Cool. Right. Yeah, I'll just return to, I guess, wherever we as a group are staying.
Yeah. You were talking about using Zalara's house. Yeah, Zalara's house.
A house, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'll put like 200 golden for like repairs and refurbishment. Sure, that's probably plenty. Like, get something looking nice.
Yeah, you could probably get the house looking pretty decent with that.
More gold than most people have.
Yeah.
It's about 14 days in, though, when
Which house?
Zalaris, Esmeranda's.
Yeah, the one that
okay,
lives in my pocket at the moment.
Oh, you're gonna help out. Yeah, okay, you're gonna help out. Sorry, someone came in.
That's good. Anyway, you will get this kind of feeling that
I can contribute some too, since I'm kind of taking it over as my abode.
yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
I'll
you,
contribute half of that if you want.
yeah, you'll actually be living out of there because you don't have another place to stay at.
Yep.
Like everybody
How
else.
many rooms are in the house, actually?
Probably like 3 or 4. We'll say 4 rooms. 2 had been furnished as like bedrooms, and the other 2 were used upstairs for other types of rooms.
Nice.
And then a couple like it's just a simple like kind of like living space, kitchen area downstairs. You know, with the living area kind of like slightly off of the shop area where it was be like, you know, telling fortunes and stuff like that. It was like 3 main rooms downstairs. Anyway, the deck kind of sends something to you that it wants to be summoned.
Yeah, I think she can just pop out, right?
Technically speaking, she could, but she would rather you do
pull
it
out...
because it's less energy for her.
What do you call it? What are cards in the Hero deck?
Cards?
It's a hero card?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm looking for like names real quick. Sorry.
Oh, what are the specific names?
Yeah.
It's your urge to basically bring
pull out...
her forth.
Yeah. One sec. Yeah, 1 second. We're back.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're all out of skill here, but we'll be back. So that's fine.
He'll be.
Anyway,
GM Joe, what do you want?
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
well, I survived because I'm invincible because I'm level.
No, you're no longer the GM. You die.
No, sorry.
In real life.
I gave myself level infinity earlier, so it's okay. I survive.
I take it away.
You can't. Anyway, so effectively, welcome back.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay.
My sister demands to tell you. She painted my nails because she thought she liked the idea. She demanded I say it. Sorry.
Right,
I pull out, ignoring that now, so she can go to bed. I pull out.
Nails are good for being on camera. It tracks better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at these. They're painted
So
different
you
colors.
would want a darker color for tracking.
Yeah, well, I don't really need to track my hands, fingers, so not too worried. I pull up the dancer. I think that's the closest one. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then I incant the words, and then she's boom. She's like a it's Star Wars projection.
Yeah. So she pops up, and I can just I didn't prep her. Anyway, so she kind of appears before you and begins to speak to you. It is of grave need that Harrowing must be taken. I must see the future for you once more. As death has claimed me, I am much more sensitive to waves. And the waves of the future. To see my fortunes more. And I sense something more is coming. Another wave.
I guess I shall serve as the conduit
Yeah.
for the cards. I know how to do these.
Yeah. She'll basically give you instructions on what to do to, shuffle the deck and place it.
I'm at plus 7. Plus 7. I'm proficient-ish.
So, if anybody else wants to be present, they can. Certainly.
I mean, I'm probably there.
Yeah, I said I was going to help clean the house up and
Yeah,
everything.
this is taking place in
Like I'd probably organize something at the house.
I think we're probably all here. I think,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're not
I would
all
like to
here when
watch.
it happens, we get everyone to come
Yeah.
over for this event. Otherwise, it'll be weird.
To be fair, the bar is not that far away. So it's like-
We're all right here.
She'll begin to read the cards and say, the cards show something. Blood. Blood on all of you. Spilling from old wounds. Cuts, bruises. A child being nursed back to health by a concerned mother. Small creature, something embedded in its chest, bleeding. A young one, the broken leg. Someone, face swollen from a beating. Child, broken tooth from falling down from a tree. Pain, blood, I see it. I see rot bubbling up. I see birds Swarms of them, descending upon the dead, picking bones. I see graves. More graves than have ever been before. More than can be handled by the Grey. I see beautiful women with ashen skin and blank faces, leading the masses. The dead rising to crawl and drag the living with them. Something is coming. Something that will boil up and bring death to the city. A lot of death. I'm sorry I couldn't be more specific. I don't know what's going to come, but I can feel it. The fates say it's already in the city, bubbling up. Be ready. She'll fade away.
Sounds unpleasant.
Bubbling up, something below. I don't think Korvosa isn't built on a volcano or anything, or an earthquake fault. I don't even know about those. I don't know.
Probably not. That's complicated geological structures.
There are probably earthquakes in the area, I assume. There's usually earthquakes everywhere. I just don't know how. There's enough volcanoes technically nearby that there could be earthquakes, but the volcanoes are like farther to the north and stuff, you know, in the mountain ranges, which are a little farther away. So, not impossible, improbable to get like a random one in this area.
Yeah, probably. It's a little complicado.
Mm-hmm.
Geology. But yeah, that sounds bad. Not sure what we can do about it right now, though.
Kill her to bring
The
good
thing I
news.
can think of below is the freaking graveyards all over the place.
That's not a terrible idea.
Well, also, city was built on temple.
Oh.
Let's hope it's not that one.
Alright, can you enlighten the less knowledgeable on this temple? I mean, I'm familiar with it, but
About the Shuanti temple that the castle's built on?
I'm aware of what. I'm more asking. Do you know what this temple was built for specifically?
When it was taken, we didn't even. I don't think we knew a lot. We've been just guarding it for so long.
Yeah, as far as the general Swanti knowledge would be that it was an ancient place that linked to a great ancient evil that you had basically
Yeah, I was about to say.
sealed it away, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say. Has something to do with sealing away a great evil.
Anybody that has history could roll it,
I think I have history.
or architecture engineering too.
Oh, I
I'd
actually
allow
do have
that one.
history. And maybe I do know it.
23, so okay.
I don't know it. I rolled pretty low.
23 would be probably enough to know the basics of what it is thought about to be by popular information. The exact research and information is really unknown, but you will know that it is actually a Thessalonian ruin.
Okay.
Macedonia.
That's information that could be like, because there are other Thessalonian ruins around the area, so that's not like hard to know about with enough history there. But the thing is, the exact research onto it hasn't been talked about really again, the castle was built on top of it, kind of thing, and stuff like that. And it's assumed that there was research done on it, but again, like,
yeah,
the royal family's not going to share information on their, like, you know, pyramid castle. Even
that
though
could be the doom of them all.
Yeah, that's probably some of the reasons that, you know, the entire idea of the cursed, you know, the Crimson Throne. You know, just saying.
I mean, yeah, no, my thing going in was he died. My thing going in was like, okay.
There is that.
Just assume the king died by an ancient curse.
I mean, there is like.
Can't rule it out, you know.
There is rumors
possible.
of a curse on the royal family, though. Anyway, there is some rumors that do spread about that because of a lot of members of the royal family don't mean their ends in like nice ways. Very few.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know if any have died of natural causes. I'm going to say.
Ivona will think for a moment. Well, it's not actually Chuanti, it's Thessalonian.
Okay. That is not more comforting. That is actually more discomforting.
Yes, less comforting.
I'm not familiar with ancient history of that sort. What is Thessalonian? I really should get.
I give a brief rundown of the Thessalonian Empire.
Thessalonian Empire, probably what you would know with that check would be it was an ancient empire in this region. It rivaled the ancient Aslanti Empire. Both were destroyed in the Earthfall, so the Great Destruction. Probably you'd assume that like many of the people in this area, the Chuanti people were probably honestly slaves of the Thessalonians, freed when they were destroyed. So it might explain why they probably sealed away their giant pyramid that they had here. You know, maybe linked to their ancient oppressors.
As one does.
Yeah, you know, I'm really thinking about it really hard. Is there do we, I don't know, just a random thought. Some horrible Thessalonian evils secured at the bottom of this temple?
I couldn't tell you. But I'm more concerned that she mentioned things very specifically related to us. And perhaps people we know.
My parents' delvings.
I mean, it would be odd if she said she had something important and it wasn't about us.
Yes, but made her sound like great danger to people we know, potentially.
It's gray faces.
Could be soot on face. Would make gray.
Zombies?
Well, if it's zombies, I can at least try to seize control of them.
If it's zombies, I
that could
am
be a
fairly
still.
terrible at dealing with them.
Zombies die with smashing.
Not
I
always.
can't do that.
And you create positive energy that will harm them.
Yes, I have to get close to them to do that, and I believe that is to be avoided. Well, it couldn't be any less cryptic, at least. Think of the positive.
Yeah, this really still does leave a lot open. None of it good, but a lot open.
I'm gonna look down at the deck that's there and just be like, can you give us good news next time?
You get the like emotional version of a shrug, you know?
like I feel a shrug happen.
You get the emotional feeling of Withers going no.
So
No.
maybe we should seek audience with the queen again?
I don't know if that's a great idea.
You do know that the queen has been holed up in the palace, and the palace has been closed down since the incident with Blackjack.
We are kinda known.
Perhaps
Maybe.
we could talk with Presidia?
At least give her a warning something dangerous will be occurring soon. Not that that's really needed.
Yeah. I mean...
This whole
I don't
place
know.
is constantly dangerous.
Well... things haven't been too terrible lately. People may be getting complacent, so it might be good to let people know something's coming. If they'll believe that us our magical ghost.
A talking deck of cards.
Well, we don't tell them it came from a talking deck of cards. You want to sound insane? Well, actually, it's not that insane. What am I saying? This is actually quite normal. In reconsideration, I think my teacher had a talking cube.
Well,
Gnomes are peculiar.
it's outlandish enough to where it could be.
No, it was a ball. Called an 8-ball? I'm sorry.
Stop. That's enough out of you.
Come on, gnomes would totally have magic 8 balls. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong, which is why I was just like, damn it, you're not wrong about that.
Maybe we should consult it. It gives advice.
It never gives good advice. Because
Try
it's
again later.
It's always mediocre.
Try again later.
Anyway, why don't we take our break here? Because regardless if you plan to go, you will receive message tomorrow morning from Cressida that she wishes to meet with you.
I think sent messaged. Well, what is this?
I know, sending a message to a place that you've said to contact
you.
you.
Taken over.
Yeah.
I'm receiving a message from someone that probably should message me?
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
Anyway, so if you need a snack, drink, bathroom break, go ahead and take them, and we'll be back in a little bit. To it.
My face
right.
is full of pizza though.
That's fine. Your face can be full of pizza. I was finding the top
pizza
screen
not
as
full
I
of face?
muted this. Hi everybody, welcome back. We were talking about some actual products that people have that are just weird, and then also eating pizza apparently. Which I have some, but I might just put
I
them in for
had
tomorrow.
pizza for dinner.
That's what I did too. I had some leftover slices that I might just put away because I can always have it tomorrow then.
That's
I
true.
had chicken and fried.
I'm gonna have chicken and waffle fries this weekend.
Nice. So, you received message from Miss Croft to go and meet with her. Cresta Croft. It will be the next day. Are you going to go straight there, or are you going to do anything else?
What does it say? I'm just curious. Does it say, have any specifics in it, or just
Hey.
meet with us?
I require you to come meet with me as soon as humanly possible for yourself to discuss some information with you.
Well, I'm not human, so.
Yeah, some of us aren't human.
As soon as possible.
There's not a single human in this party.
I mean, I'm half human.
Technically,
I'm like 3/4 human.
There are
technically,
multiple half
4
humans.
of you have human blood in you.
There are multiple half.
Oh, yeah.
humans.
Only one of you wouldn't be considered human at all.
Someone here is
I
a big
literally don't
lizard.
even have the human subtype.
I'm
Someone
mostly
here's a
human.
Big lizard.
Listen, if
I'm
someone
not
had a
even
human
annoyed.
main weapon, I would still be killed by it, so it's close
It's
enough.
true. I wouldn't, because I'm not subtype human.
If someone had a
It would-
orc main
it-
weapon,
it-
I would also be killed by it.
It
so
would
it's not-
affect me because I took the mostly human trait.
Yeah, so we're all humans in here.
Oh,
Right, my
vague-
fellow humans?
vaguely.
Looks around at giant fucking lizard.
Lizard, half vampire.
We're all humans? Question mark?
I
You
could
know,
just
you
set
have a
myself
nice
on
party.
fire.
Is what I think you are.
Tavel's the most human.
Anyway,
I'm the most human, actually, right? Tavel's
Anyway.
human?
are you
Half-
going to meet with
And
Miss
we're equal.
Croft?
Yes.
yeah, I don't have anything. I'll grab my
I don't have
backup
anything to do.
spell book, I guess.
All right.
Put it in my bag.
So, it's very easy to come and meet with the guards, to head to the Citadel once more, and of course, find your way into Cresta Croft's office. She'll of course look up from paperwork and be like, welcome. Thank you for coming as soon as possible. I needed to discuss some things with you. Please close the door behind you.
Blows.
She'll put down the writing utensil that she was working on and kind of stand up and kind of move towards the small window at the back of her office. You know, it's kind of one that's in a... Because it's a fortress, it's kind of like on a smaller kind of window, kind of more slit-like, definitely a little bit more protected, but certainly still gives a view of the probably grounds below where, you know, the guards are training and stuff. I believe I'd spoken to you previously about the restructuring of some of the works within the military of Korvosa. Certainly the disbanding and restructuring of the Sable Company was only the first of this. It seems that things are going deeper than I thought. It seems as though perhaps the entire military of the city might be reorganized, including the guards here.
Oh.
In what way?
We don't know yet. I think that's the problem.
To do with the incident that happened 2 weeks ago.
Perhaps. I think it fuels it. But I feel as though the naivety of our, or perhaps lack of knowledge of our new queen will be a danger in this case. This is not the time for such things. Once the city is stabilized, then it will be more important. But I fear that everything is threatened, even my own position, to an extreme degree now. Yes. Blackjack. Stealing away Trinia certainly is something that seems to have fueled things to accelerate what was going on even quicker, I think. My people were in charge of defense there, backed up, of course, by the Order of the Nail. None of us were able to stop what Blackjack did. But Blackjack is a unique case in a lot of this. He's always been a, not necessarily a thorn in the law, but a person positioned on the outside of it, working for the people. It's been both public and official policy to generally ignore what the man does, because he does things for the good of Korvosa, normally. But declaring war on the Queen is certainly taken a turn and not helped the case of a lot of things at this point in time. I'm nervous. My position as Field Marshal is in heavy jeopardy now. My current goal is to try to maintain my post as long as I can maintain some and listen to whatever the Queen desires. I might be able to do that. It seems as though even with this idea of restructuring, there is still some semblance of sanity there, that removing all the guards would be incredibly dangerous. The men and women below me, I am responsible for them and want to do my best to make sure they have a way of life and can continue into positions they've been trained for, while Korvosa remains safe too. It's going to be a tough balancing act. It's unfortunate that I must say, because of this, my ability to finance anything with you can't continue. I'm not going to have the extra funding. Any funding I have, if it is there, must go to other important things. There won't be any more official jobs for you, at least at this point in time. I'm sorry.
You needn't. Well, still need our help. I, for one, would be willing to work. Unofficially, if you need it, but more what I should say is without much in the way of compensation.
my fiance very much believed in the good you can do, so I could help without official compensation.
Just because the city gave up on me once upon a time doesn't mean I'll give up on it.
Thank you.
Keep good relations. I would still help.
Thank you very much. I'm glad that all of you have a willingness to continue the fight for Korvosa. You can't call yourselves official connection with us anymore. But I fear there might be a time in the future where, especially with what's going on now, my guards and I will not have the power to protect the people of the city. You've proven yourselves a effective group, a powerful group. A group like you can do a lot. It might be the difference between life and death for the city. There might be a time where you will be needed to do something for the city that I might not be able to do. I fear that won't be the case. But I'm not smart enough not to deny it could happen. And if recent events with Blackjack say anything, she's going to turn towards those of you that did things to help out Blackjack and kind of give you this look that very easily she's like, I know what you did, I noticed it. There may be a time where actions will have to be taken for Korvosa.
For Korvosa.
It is my home, after all. I would be a fool not to defend it.
If I do have an opportunity, I assume the location that I messaged you at will be good to reach you again, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Well. So. There's one final thing. Something that's going to happen tomorrow. If you wish to see it, I'm letting you know about it. But you don't need to necessarily. For the first time in the 2 weeks, the Queen will be coming to the public. Where the execution was scheduled for. The rumor is she's going to introduce her new military force.
Oh. Sounds unpleasant.
Well, let's see how her Ritzer's queen are going.
Do you know anything about this military force? And is it Hell Knights?
No.
That's... I guess
all
it
I
could be
know
worse.
is that I do know the name of the person that's leading it. The Queen's personal bodyguard. Sabina Marin seems to be the one that's in charge of this. It might mean that this will act as a more private force for the royal family and nobility than more directly for Korvosa. Or it could just be a promotion. We'd have to see. tomorrow if you wish to attend. I'll be there.
Might as well see what's going on.
We should know what's happening in the city.
Well, I wish you all
Failure
luck.
to plan is a plan to fail.
Hopefully, we'll have a point in the future where we can discuss things just like this and have business like it used to be. She's going to kind of stand up and kind of like look in almost like, very militaristic kind of form. For your services to the city, I thank all of you, my friends.
Thank you for giving us the privilege to serve.
Agreed.
She'll return to her work then.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ever onwards.
I think I need to stop by docks and get my job back.
I don't think so, Khandes. I mean, did you spend all your money?
I think
New
we'll
big
soon-
shiny.
You need an accountant?
I think we'll soon have bigger problems than needing.
I'm holding up my now +1 hammer.
Yeah.
New big shiny.
We will we'll find money, I'm sure, in the line of work we're doing.
Yes, there will likely be plenty more of it, given the fact that it sounds like our gracious queen is purging the city of anyone who would disagree with her.
Well, let's hope she doesn't go that far. But at least Hell Knights are predictable. They're terrible, but they're predictable.
I also want to make a knowledge local on that name.
Which name?
The
lady.
new-
So bodyguard.
Yeah, the bodyguard who's been
Sure.
promoted.
I could also try and make one.
Does she have a last name?
It was Sabina Marin.
Yeah.
I'll put it in chat.
Is that an important name? Like, would that be a
I feel like
nobility
we've
or is
heard
that not?
this name already.
I want to feel
Yeah.
apart, so I'm gonna
Oh,
make
sorry,
an
I misspelled that.
check.
It's a B there, not a V. I accidentally misspelled it. So it's
feel
Sabina,
apart.
not Savina.
So I'm gonna make a knowledge nature check on the potted plant.
There. It's ficus.
Oh, we got a 23 and then Ivona got a 22.
So, let's see here. What would you know about Sabina Marin? Let me see here.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, is she noble or is she like? How did she become the Queen's Guard? Do we know that? Was she just like a good soldier, and they're like, you know what? I guess you're gonna get promoted to King's Guard. and now you're
So
Queen."
she was a member of the guard, that was basically well within the ranks, and you will know that the Queen basically, specifically, had her discharged from the guard and then reassigned as her bodyguard and main handmaiden.
Hmm.
Okay.
Was this before
Um,
the king died?
Yes, this is much before the king died.
Okay.
This
That's
was,
why I thought the name sounded familiar.
yeah, she's been with the queen for some time now, probably for most of her time as the Queen of Korvosa. She's rarely from the queen's side. Is there anything else you'd know about it? If anybody's a knowledge nobility, you could make a
God,
roll
no.
there too.
Sure.
Don't have that.
I rolled an 8. It's a 21 total.
21.
My lizard can assist.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna roll my familiar to assist, but it technically can. It is right. I don't think you would know anything I don't.
It does only lizard nobility.
It licks its eye, and you remember. Oh wait.
I mean, it's technically the conduit of my patron, so it's.
I
like,
know,
actually...
but I think it's just funnier if it licks its eye, and you're like, wait a minute, that makes me think of something.
I'll tell you this much: what the exact relationship between them is kind of unknown. There are rumors that have spread around, but it can basically best be seen as Sabina is almost something of a pet to the queen. Whether or not that is what kind of relationship that means and what relationship it is between the two of them, she's just basically been someone that caught the queen's eye, and the queen decided to have her at her side. You know.
Interesting.
And so she's pretty much always at the queen's side.
Okay.
She's rarely seen away from it. So this is actually a very interesting thing, too. In all the years that she's served with the queen, she really hasn't left the queen's side.
Yeah, she's kind of suspicious then. Intriguing.
She best be described as, like, the right-hand person of the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she could be, influencing her in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Okay. Interesting. That doesn't...
Yeah, she convinced her. You could have convinced her to start the army so she could be a part ahead of it.
And
So-
again,
Maybe not.
you know, what kind of relationship they really have is, you know, there have been strange rumors here and there about it. Certainly a lot more before the queen ascended to the throne, because, you know, the queen was looked on very negatively for a large period of time, you know. So, you have to remember, the king was disliked. Then the queen showed up. The king was now not talked about anymore. The anger was focused towards the queen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's yeah.
So,
damn.
yeah.
So I don't know if she really... I mean, she might be some conniving, villainous person, but we have no really evidence of that.
She also could just be extremely loyal.
I don't trust anyone who restructures the entire city guard and military force.
Well,
Yeah,
she just put at the head of it, but it could have been the queen who wanted to do it.
Well, again,
I mean,
as
she's
Cressida said,
untrustworthy by default.
Cressida sees it as basically ignorance or naivete of restructuring things in a way that would be more suitable, and it sounds like more suitable for nobility or the royal family, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so if you're doing nothing else, we will move on to the next day. So the next day, it'll be around early afternoon, where there is the meeting, of course, in the area that you had a couple weeks ago gone to see an execution.
Where we did nothing wrong.
I did
It's
a lot
totally
of wrong.
normal day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Where nothing happened.
I didn't do anything. I just watched.
Mm-hmm. So, the gallows have been restructured into a kind of platform with the, you know, execution area kind of... Well, I'm not gallows. It was, you know, the executioner's block. It's been cleared out, so it's just a platform, you know, there. And, of course, a crowd kind of gathers for this. Not the same kind of crowd as before, not as quite as big a crowd as before, but certainly there's a crowd here. In which then a procession will begin to enter the area. And leading the procession is a group of soldiers. Let me show them off now. All of them women in plate mail that look like that.
Oh. That's unpleasant.
Mm-hmm. There'll be about a dozen of them. And, of course, they'll be leading procession and escorting the queen herself in this procession. With the queen having, of course... You recognize, when the queen arrived, someone in this type of plate mail was standing next to her. And the same person will be next to her again. So, you've seen this armor before, when the queen showed up for the execution, someone in this armor, like this type of set of armor, was there next to her.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, the procession will move in across to the place. We'll kind of move up there, where the queen will once again address the people. People of Korvosa, it has been a very difficult time, of course. As you can see, justice has been long since overdue to be served. But I have taken the first steps in correcting this. As your ruler, in this trying time, I have seen those that would defend the city fail time and time again. Chaos reigned in the streets. People died. Houses burned. Homes were destroyed. But no more will we see this damage and destruction. It is time for Korvosans to all unite. So I have taken from all of Korvosa's defenders and chosen the most elite members of them to form a new group. The Grey Maidens. They will be your most protectors. They will bring about a new age in Korvosa. New age of peace and prosperity. We shall see Korvosa become true and right once more. And allow me to introduce those that will be leading it. Sabina Marin, the most loyal and most powerful of all the great knights in the city, who has been by my side through these trying times and protected my very life. I trust her to lead the maidens and bring a new great peace to the city. The woman next to her will kind of take a couple steps forward and kind of, you will recognize her voice. You've heard this voice before. It is the voice of the woman that escorted you to the queen previously.
Yep, called it. Yeah, I knew.
She'll go, I'm not much one for speeches. But at the side of your queen, I've seen her grief and the sadness that everything that has happened, the loss of our king, of many within our city, and how it's weighed against her. I will take up this mantle. I will lead the Grey Maidens. We will see peace restored once and for all. We will see Korvosa brought back to the great city it was before all this happened. Perhaps even greater than it ever was. We will see Korvosa, a place, be filled with beauty, happiness, and love again. We will see Korvosa be strong. There are many cheers from the crowd as this happens. As then the queen with her armed escort will once again depart.
During her speaking, I just want to see if I can get any kind of sense of what she's saying. You know what I mean?
Which one?
The not the queen, the other one.
Sabina?
Sabina, yeah. I actually rolled decent on a sense motive.
Certainly, when the queen speaks, she's nobility. You know, the fact is that it feels very a noble speech, you know. There's certainly, like, she's much better at, you know, conveying emotions in a very, you know, simple way. Sabine definitely doesn't seem to have that kind of training. You can sense that she does seem passionate about what she says, for sure.
Okay.
Whether there is an exact, like, whether there's not some deception, whether there's going on, she does seem to believe, at least in what she says, that there will be a peace for Korvosa. She believes in that.
Yeah.
As far as you can tell.
Wonder what that piece will look like. Maybe a bunch of people hung, burned old Korvosa. Who knows?
Honestly speaking, maybe, but maybe not. You don't get anything kind of like, you know, sinister necessarily from her. Her speech didn't, like, it sound very impassioned to the city. Again, might not be the time and place to be doing this kind of thing, so maybe that'll result in a lot of death, you know, but they're doing it. You know. And so the Grey Maidens are recruiting.
Well, I don't think I qualify.
No!
I technically could.
You technically could.
I don't think I could. I don't think I could hold the armor. I think I would be crushed by its weight.
It is plate mail to give out.
Might be heavy encumbered.
Technically, I couldn't because it's metal.
I couldn't cast spells within it.
Mm-hmm.
Could anyone turn me into a female so I can infiltrate?
I don't think they would trust you. The Shuanti in the Queen's personal guard?
Again, the way they said this, it's less personal guard and more like new military force.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same.
Which is very sus.
This is all sus. This is kind of bad.
Never has a new ruler announcing some kind of new military force gone well in any kind of history.
For anyone involved, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole, it's pretty much the first step to
hey, you know, at least their armor isn't black.
No, it's
crimson.
It's crimson,
no,
silver and crimson.
They're not Hell Knights, at least.
Yeah, you know.
It might be worse.
I mean, crimson is
better.
technically the color of Korvosa, so...
It is.
It's just very national color.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be crimson maidens?
No?
Hey, you know, complain
Well,
whoever wrote this book.
It's called a Grey Maiden because plate mail is kind of, you know,
It is
silver
gray.
gray. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got a big ass shield and a long sword, so.
Yeah.
At least all you have to do is aim center mass and you kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Their abdomen is the most vulnerable spot.
What? It looks like there is metal under the red there.
There's
Yeah,
metal under it. It's look, they're given very expensive equipment for soldiers. You know, much more than your average guard. They're full plate, heavy steel shield, composite longbow, long sword. You know, this is
it's just the irony is they're full plate. The middle of their full plate isn't full plate. It becomes a sort of scale.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess.
Or banded mail, which is far inferior, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because like a Lamlar.
Anyway, so what's your plans after this, or are you just going to head back?
Well, I guess we should talk to.
Find a Molotov cocktail and throw it.
No, you can try that one. I'm leaving.
We should. We should talk to. We should go meet up with I'm bad at names.
Swordman?
Croft.
Guard. Yeah.
Oh.
I also think we should go meet up with our sword friend.
We could talk to Swordman.
I was thinking him too. Why can we never remember?
Or Jaren.
Is that his name? Is his name Jaren?
No, that's the bard. Vencario.
Well, we don't need to talk. We got what we needed.
Vencario or Orsini.
Yeah, but Jared seems like a good guy to know.
Well, you can go talk to him. Because I've never met him, so I don't know who he is.
That's fair.
But anyway, you won't be able to find Cressida Croft there. If she had arrived, she had probably snuck away quietly or quickly. So you will not run into her while she is there, though. Easily, you can return back to where you came from, your place of abode. Do you wish to go try to meet with Van Carlo, or
probably send a letter to his place?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that would probably work
maybe
better.
give it a day too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, you can address a letter and send it out. And late that night, though, in the evening, there will be a knock at your door. And whoever would be up, kind of like probably around close to midnight, you will notice there will be a letter pushed under your door.
Sus. I read.
Later. Okay, you probably do, actually. That makes sense.
I do wizard things. It's late in the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
Wizard
seems a
things,
letter
Mom.
addressed to you from Van Carlo.
Okay, what's it say?
To your group. To my friends. I can... Give me a second here to do this. Because I technically have this letter here.
Oh, shit,
they probably will be... It'll probably be...
correct.
Yes, you did something correct. Yeah. I'll read it out, though. My friends, I hope this news finds you in good help in these dangerous times. In light of the recent unrest, I feel I should provide some tips on self-defense to adventurers such as yourself, and be most gratified to meet with you for these lessons. Offer gravitas at Orsini's Academy, 16 Hillcrest Street. I eagerly await your arrival.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically just saying, I want to meet with you discreetly.
It is a very good message that, yes, screams, I can't say a lot through messages, here you go.
I'm probably awake with you late at night. We're probably discussing some dumb shit.
Use a letter. It seems our friend wants to meet with us discreetly.
Like a log.
I'm probably at 1,000 Bones because I was offered to stay at his place.
Yeah, he's giving you a room and stuff, you know?
So I would meet up with you in the morning at the house, but I would not be there.
Yeah.
I look over the letter, I'm like, huh. Well, it seems like he had the same thoughts we did. I guess we should gather the group in the morning.
Yes. Be wise.
Well, I guess we should wrap up this long and vigorous debate about... Forget what it even was about. Don't you hate when that happens?
Undead.
Very annoying. I feel like we would not debate undead.
No, I think
there's no debate there.
Yeah, I think that's an agreement. It was probably some like minor topic about like how you write some sort of magical sign or whatever.
We are both opposed to the creation of undead.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy stance to take. We're probably talking about like some philosophical endpoint that is so nebulous to talk about. You get deep into the weeds of, like.
I will tell you something that you will have noticed, though, while you were at the guard's place. There is officially a royal bounty out for the capture of Trina Sabor. 5,000 gold pieces offered.
Trina Sabor, that's the lady that escaped.
Yeah.
Lady we helped escape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
is there a bounty for blackjack?
No. At least not yet.
Interesting.
Huh.
Hey,
It actually is interesting.
She got one the next time we have to save her, it's gonna cost her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We get one
I
for
feel-
free.
I feel like they don't put a bounty on blackjack because they don't think anyone could get blackjack.
Also,
in.
it might just piss people off if you do
It's
that.
this thing is
Yeah.
it's the thing is it's the city is you could have sensed in the last couple of weeks the city is very divided because it's blackjack oftentimes disappears for many years at a time, and for it to reappear and rescue a sentenced killer, it's a very unusual thing. So like the city knows this has happened, but you know. It's very difficult because he is the hero of the city, kind of thing, for the city to go against him directly, easily. You know, it's probably why, because like, certainly, even if people in the upper echelons would be angry, going after Blackjack's hard because of the nature of like his existence in the city. But you can definitely go after Trina still.
And the fact that he actually has player levels.
I mean,
It'll make him a little more difficult to capture.
mm-hmm. He's got a bunch of levels in this class called Vigilante,
He's
which gives
Batman.
that gives him Batman powers.
Yeah, it gives him where he gets half his kit half the time at all
Yeah.
times.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
You
for
could
him.
or you could say he has Zorro powers.
Yeah, Zorro powers. That sounds cooler.
I prefer Inigo Montoya.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
If we gather our friends and companions.
You must gather your party before venturing
Yeah.
forth.
Yes, I would be stopping by in the morning anyway.
Mm-hmm. So
Probably.
I'm currently unemployed, so
You're like, what do I do with my life? I'm not working every day.
and now I don't have a job with this, being an extra thing on the city guard. So it's like,
Your job is to save.
I
the
lost
city.
my one job, and then I lost my other job.
Well, I
and
quit my other job for this job, and then got fired for that job. What
Wake
the
the
hell?
fuck up, samurai. We got a city to burn.
That's basically what's gonna happen at this point, I feel like.
Wait, well, instead of like the opposite, we got a city to save. Anyway, we go to the Sword Academy.
So you'll head to, of course, 16 Hellcrest Street in Korvosa, and hanging on the door to the school is a sign that says "Classes canceled today."
I wonder why.
Yeah. We
Those are the kind of mixed messages that tell you we should go in.
Knock, 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 knock.
Yeah, we're not here for a typical lesson.
As shortly after you knock, the door will kind of swing open very quickly, and Carlo will be there, and he'll kind of like
Oh,
look.
is that an R? L?
It
is an
Carlo.
Arlo.
Yeah,
You're right.
Vencarlo.
I kept calling him Vencario because I kept seeing that as an I because I'm dyslexic.
Yeah. He'll kind of appear and kind of like almost rushed, and then he'll see you and like kind of recognize and be quick, please come in.
I walk in.
Thank you for responding to my message as quickly as possible. Please, follow me. He's going to lead you out of the main room, which he actually hasn't done before, to a back hallway, like outside of the training room where the classes probably are, to a study. One that has the windows tightly shuttered and curtained. I have an important task for all 5 of you. One that was placed upon me, but now I must place it upon you. Please, come in. From the other room, walks in Trinia Sabor. She's got very simple traveling clothes. A wide brim rider's hat, a wig of long red curls. So, you recognize her. You've seen her before. You've been up close with her before. But certainly, she is in disguise now.
Mm-hmm.
Thought you'd be farther away than by now.
Look, I'm sorry about the trouble I gave you, but you were right about the promise you made to me. I feared you would not be. I'm sorry that I've only given you trouble.
Every life is worth defending. Well, most people's lives are worth defending.
Good people's lives are worth defending.
Even okay people's lives are worth defending.
Let me tell you why I called you here. Don Carlo will say.
Oh, that was what the debate was about.
Totally, 100%.
I assume you were all at the debacle the Queen had a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And I'm sure you recognize this woman here.
Yes.
Never seen her before.
That night, I'd reached my home. Just after that gala had happened. And of course, who should I run into? But an old friend of mine, and a very startled young woman at my doorway. The people's hero, they say. I hadn't seen him in person for years. Many years. Not that I hadn't heard from him, like the letters I sent, but a direct talk, a sight. Still, he only said a few quick words, then swooped off into the night. And here he left Miss Sabor with me.
Did he tell you why he couldn't get her out?
No.
He said be too many words for blackjack.
He said too few. Only that he trusted I would be able to get her out of the city. And look. The people's hero is what they called him. I've never been one to understand the motivations or politics of blackjack. But in the end, I do trust his judgment. He's done right most of the time with his actions. So, I trust that he knows enough that Miss Sabor here, as at very least innocent of the crime enough that she does not deserve death. So, I trust that over the current child playing queen in charge of our city and her bloody-minded ways. So, you are right, though. Korvosa is no longer safe for her.
No, there is a bounty on her head.
And I am a man with many connections and many friends.
So what is your plan for us to get her out?
I have friends in Hars. Some ranchers, very well respected. They're willing to take in our so-called assassin until all this blows over. The problem is that the first leg of the journey is the most difficult.
Out of the city.
Yes. The price on her head has drawn out all form of mercenaries, soldiers, and of course, Grey Maidens are now taking to the streets looking for her. Looking for this young lady quite tirelessly.
Do you know their abilities? Do they have any magic, or are they warriors?
I can't say for sure. But on 3 separate occasions so far over the time, people have come by. Twice with these Grey Maidens. Before their public showings. they've already been on the streets. Interesting. But nonetheless, I have been able to keep them from searching this place. But I am recognizable. Many of my contacts have gone underground with everything going on. And the bounty makes many agents I would have very difficult to use. My experience with you is that you're resourceful. A good lot for this kind of thing.
I said, yes, I see why those with money, or those who work for money would be very...
Real quick, where's Vicario's place again?
Valencario's place is in Old Korvosa.
Yeah.
If we could get it to the East Shore, we could try to see if the Shanti would help us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one actually.
That was a long trek, though.
Yeah, that is pretty far.
All we have to do though is get her across the North Bridge.
Well,
Actually, I wonder if it's even easier. Like, can we get like a small boat off of Old Dock and just like,
You know what?
just like row across the river and get out?
I could talk to my old boss. He knows the docks here. He might be able to help us in some way to
Fishing boat,
get her
perhaps?
to East Shore.
Look, I can provide at least a horse and some supplies for Trinia for her travels, and some supplies for you if you need to help her out of the city, if you need money for that.
It'd be nice to have some bribe money just in case.
I don't know if anybody would be willing to take it. I don't know if we'd have that enough with the bounty on our head.
That's true.
Subtlety is the best here.
We are quite close to Old Dock. I think if we
North
can
Bridge
get
has some recent events near it that would be quite dangerous. My suggestion would be to walk down through the city to High Bridge, then up the Dwarven Road. Mingle with the merchants tomorrow afternoon when leaving the city. That might be your best bet.
Well,
I
how much
see.
time do you think we have?
Does she have to go? What? Does she have to go south?
I believe, for me, knowing stuff that he said... What did I say the location to send her to was?
High Bridge, which is in the south. It's in front of the Citadel where we've been working.
Yeah, but I'm asking.
No. The High Bridge is where she was sending it to. Hars.
Yeah.
Hars?
Where Hars is, yeah.
Yeah, because the question is, I can understand if just trying to get across the river would be
We just
bad
check.
because, you know, if she has to go south, right?
It's hard to cross the river and not be noticed.
yeah.
That's true. I guess we could pretend to be fishermen, right? I guess they're not gonna be a lot in the middle of the river.
Yeah, but if you do dock, they probably have like restrictions, and you probably just can't go ashore on the other side without getting some kind of.
Hars
Yeah.
is technically northwest of the city.
Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to exit on the east side. Okay.
That's why he was
Well-
suggesting that, because Northbridge, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on there lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is the Dwarf Road the one that heads out of East Shore,
Let me check.
or is it the one that heads out
Oh.
of High Bridge, south of High Bridge?
She's disguised, you said?
She has a base disguise on.
Magic probably wouldn't be good here. That'd be noticed.
I do not know which one the Dwarf Road is off the top of my head. I would have to get a better Korvosa map.
No, you're good.
Um,
Wagons are gonna be searched, so she probably has to walk.
Yeah.
Maybe we should.
Again, she isn't a base disguise, so the less noticeable you are is good too.
Maybe we should get some like supplies or like barrels to carry, like we're carrying cargo down the city.
He also will mention you don't have to escort her all the way to Hars, which is quite far away.
Yeah, we have to just get her out of the city.
Well, you have to get her to a place called the Wayside Inn along the North Road. To a Wayside Inn along the North Road called Trots. An old friend of his, Jason Eridel, who works at that ranch in Hars, will be there to meet her. So basically, like part of the way there.
Is Hars in Varisia?
Yes.
So
if you look at a Varisian map, it is on the Falcon River.
Second opinion. What do you guys think of buying a rowboat and kind of sneaking out at night and having her cross at night, and we have the wagon and cart ready to go on the other side?
That would be very suspicious if we're caught.
Yeah, I think just walking at night would be better.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
the
he suggested just mingling with the crowd.
Yeah.
If we're gonna walk, we have to
afternoon.
go during the day where we're less likely to get
So
searched.
just blend with the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because merchants come in during the morning and leave. The local merchants come in during the morning and leave during the afternoon for the local ones. So he's like, you could just go with the local merchants out during the afternoon. Might be the best bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we're gonna do that, we should have her in the middle of us as we were walking. So like we're acting as camo.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at her. She doesn't look like she fits in with us at the moment.
Her outfit.
We look like adventurers, you know what I mean?
You guys look more like adventurers, definitely.
So we need to get her some adventurer clothes. Like, maybe some leather armor or something. You know what I mean? Like, we should get her something to...
Unless we act as her bodyguard.
That's also suspicious. It's better for her to blend in with us than stand out. We can get her some leather armor, some daggers. Nothing that she couldn't use on the road either.
I mean, all I have would be... I could load her dagger, that's not a problem. I have a hide shirt that I don't use, but it might be a bit big.
Do you, Vincarlo, do you have any armors around that she could take that would...
Unfortunately, nothing that I could easily grab, but if, as I
we
said,
could buy
I can arrange for some materials if you need to for tomorrow. It's unfortunate that getting everything together would be difficult for today.
Yeah. I think getting her equipped to look like an adventurer would be smart. Less questions asked.
If she can handle the slight stench I wasn't able to wash out, she could wear the leather armor I have. It would resize to her as it is magic.
Perhaps it would be better for all of you to switch out of adventuring equipment into something a bit more traveling.
Works too.
I'm already wearing that, basically.
I don't look like an adventurer. I'm in a very nice dress.
Yeah.
I mean, to be
Nice
fair,
hat.
Joe and I, well, my character actually looks slightly more like an adventurer now because I have like leather armor on. But before that, we look more Shanti.
I have a scholar's outfit, is what I'm wearing. Secondary thought. I do have my noble looking outfit. She could be like my attendant. Maybe that's too complicated.
I mean, I could just switch out to my old hide shirt and armored kilt, and that's what I wore on the docks anyway.
Easy enough to get a pair of just common clothes.
Basically, if you want just like simpler common clothes disguise, you can. And
Also,
you can get it for you.
I want to point out the dragon in the room. One of us doesn't blend in very well.
One of you should probably kind of
be walking from a distance, probably.
Yeah, one of you should probably like.
That's fair.
Travel separately from a distance, but still kind of walking the same thing until you leave the city. Or honestly, could probably
Good
just
point. I would draw his attention.
you could probably also just like lead some horses outside or something, and so then, you know, be ready to meet people outside the city too.
Oh, you know what? You can get the Shuanti ready to help us.
I'm not sure we should clue them in. They might have their own agenda for.
I think. Well, we said this is going to take a day before we're ready to go, right?
Yeah.
He said, like, again, like, you could probably head out right away, but he's also like, probably should make sure you prepare all your materials because he's just.
We gotta think this through.
Yeah,
we gotta think this through. We don't want to, you know. Listen, hey, a failure to plan is a plan to fail.
I think I'm good. I'm close enough with Thousand Bones that he could give us some help if need be.
Maybe keep it vague. Tell him you need help, but you can't exactly explain what yet.
Yes, but I think that he would definitely help, especially since we did get his son's remains back to him, and I already have a close relationship with him.
I think it'd be yes, as long as he only picked a few. I just don't think we should be shouting this on the Shanti.
No, I would talk to him and ask him direct for help, and to keep it, you know, under his hat. That's his correct phrase, right?
Yes.
What was the phrase?
Under his hat.
Under his hat. I guess.
I think that the less people involved, the better.
This is true.
I agree. I think we should try and do this ourselves if possible.
The more people we involve, the more could go wrong.
Well, there's a graph of it eventually. Some amount of people might improve our odds, but it's hard to know in the situation.
Oh, wait. No other idea. My dock friend. I'm sure they send carts of stuff out from the ships.
Asked to take a job to take it out of the city, or take it to the merchants.
Yes, if we could get cart 2, she could hide in cart.
No, they're gonna switch the cart.
Better she acts like a worker.
Or she could, yeah, that too would work. But then it would give us good cover. We'd have goods. We would look more like merchants
Also,
delivering something.
Also, they'd focus more on searching the goods than searching the people if we have goods.
True.
And if anyone would question us, I can try my best to charm them.
Yeah, I don't think putting them to sleep is great. I could try to learn a charm spell. I don't know how effective your natural magic is.
It only goes so far. We could try and...
We also have words.
Yes, I'm quite...
Or
Tavel is quite great at talking us out of problem.
I'm curious, can I get a sense of how easily spooked she would be? Maybe I could sense motive or something?
She's hardened nowadays, I imagine, you know?
I mean,
if I talk
she managed to not cry when facing down the Executioner's Blade, so I think she's pretty good.
Okay.
If I talk to Screeching Bird about arrangement, I'm sure we'd have some kind of documents to show that we are delivering.
Do they...
Yes.
You probably could ask him if there's anything being delivered outside of the city to probably one of the local ranches and arrange to take
north,
that there.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're like...
that's what I'm saying. Then we actually will have legal paperwork showing this is what we're doing. This is what we have.
That's really smart, actually. I think the more legit we can look is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can just tell you, because it really doesn't need a lot of a session. Like a scene for it. If you want to go to him and ask if you could get that, sure. You can arrange for, like, because you were going to get, at least a horse, or a couple of horses from Valencarlo. So he can provide you with a wagon and an ox that, you know, some people of his that was going to take something to the north. It had been arranged. He just hadn't. Originally, he was going to have it wait for someone from the farm just outside, like a couple miles to the north, to come and get it. But it wouldn't be unreasonable for someone to deliver it, and if you're just offering to do it, he'd probably inquire, just trying to get a little bit outside the city for a bit or something, or what?
Yeah, just need a change of scenery for a little bit.
And getting some work done is an excuse for it. I understand. Well, catch your breath. If you decide to explore
Also,
the
I
world or
just got
something,
fired.
just let me know. I hope to see you return. If not, you know what? Keep the cart in the ox.
Thank you, but I will be back.
He's probably assuming that maybe you'll wander off as an adventurer or something at this point.
Yeah.
We're hanging out with a group of weirdos. There's the telltale sign of becoming an adventurer.
It is an actual job.
Physically stronger.
Yeah.
Recently,
you got noticeably more buff.
Yeah.
You got
get
better
angry
shape.
easier, actually.
I mean, there's this entire society of people that are totally adventurers that, you might join or something.
The little number above your head next to your name went up a couple, so they know.
Well, actually, you can't see the number, but your nameplate above your head went from, white to red, so you're kind of out-leveling him.
Oh, no, I feel like that guy has class levels.
Yeah, he's level 1.
Anyway,
Level 2, expert.
Unless there's anything else, we can kind of skip to the next day where you're beginning your travels.
Yeah.
And Velenkaro will inform you before he leaves with you, as he gives you everything you need for disguises or stuff that he bought. Anything that you would want for just simple stuff to go. And you've got Trina with traveling supplies for the entire time. He'll actually also give you 20 gold, and it'll be in a pouch. He'll be look, it might be pretty late by the time you're arriving at the place. It's enough to stay at the inn, get some good foodie, and if you want to take a little bit of time before journeying back to Korvosa or something like that. Look, I'm with everything that's going on, I am worried. And even before all this went down, I was quite outspoken against both the king and the queen with my opinions. Nobility and royalty in particular don't have a good feeling for me, so I'm going to lay low for a while. Don't look for me. If
See you later.
Need to contact you.
I'll contact you.
Very well.
See you later.
He'll kind of give a bow and basically for now disappear into Old Korvosa to keep out of the sight of anybody that So the things you worried about, he's worried about. He doesn't trust that there might be things going on that he.
He's a retired adventurer, all right? He's not here to deal with this bullshit. He's just trying to live his life. I don't blame him.
I mean, he was a pretty prominent member of the common folk.
Yeah.
That was outspoken against the controlling stake of it, and now, there's been a big change and upheaval, and certainly that's the kind of time people like him are targeted. Whether or not
disappeared.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help that he does have ties to the vigilante.
They don't know that, which is good for him.
They don't, but it doesn't help because if someone finds that out, he would definitely be assassinated before he could do it.
There could be perhaps suspecting, though, because remember, he did say he was met with and questioned 3 times about her.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think as we collect this lady and leave, I was kind of hoping my first time leaving the city would be a little bit nicer.
Mine too.
Well, life is a little disappointing.
Well, at least it's
Hey,
wonderful
it's-
out there. Honestly, the city is kind of dull and gray, and wait until you see plants. They're great.
I mean, I had to walk here. This is luxury, if you ask me.
Son, in my experience, when you get framed for murder, it turns out okay in the end.
You know, usually you don't get framed. There's so much to say with that statement you just said, Tavel.
Look,
I don't think there's enough
right,
words in
you're-
the alphabet to say it.
that's not the strangest thing our friend here has experienced in the last 5 minutes as I gesture towards the tall dragon person.
She's met him before.
She's met me before.
Technically. So I'm guessing then you will,
You're
like,
still
as
unnerving to look at, though.
you'll kind of separate out from them and then kind of, like, move to rendezvous, you know, because you could probably take, like, the north bridge, you know, and kind of move to rendezvous up the road from, you know, them and stuff like that. Since you do stand out a lot.
Yeah, so I'll basically just plan to head out first. I'm basically just not gonna be a part of the thing inside the
Yeah.
like
So, honestly speaking, just going about your business and not doing a lot. You get some eyesight from, like, groups of some Hell Knights, some very mercenary-looking individuals, and a couple of Grey Maidens, even. They look at you a little bit and let you go. No one seems to do anything to stop you or anything. It is a little bit of a long ways around, kind of looping out through the city, of course. But eventually you will be able to leave the gates and begin traveling north.
No, that went
so
well.
what happened at North Bridge or North Gate? He said something happened and it's not a great way to take her.
Ah! Okay. If you want to, while you're leaving there, you could either roll a local or, like, a diplomacy to, like, ask around or something.
I
Sure.
I could as well. I could do what I'm doing even though I'm...
Because
I
you're
don't
the one that's leaving Northgate. Anybody else that was interested in
yeah,
what was
true.
happening up there could roll to see, like, if you like, roll local to see if you had overheard something. If you wanted to know about.
I'll
what was
see if I
going on.
overheard anything, just for
I
the
need to
heck
put
of
a
it.
point. I'm putting a point to local. So I can
So-
roll it.
Yeah. So, Khandes. It seems as though a couple days ago something had happened around Northbridge, and so Northbridge has been kind of locked down. From what you heard, rumors are that... Let me see how many days ago it was. About 3 days ago, there was... Let me just see what happened. Okay. A bunch of the trebuchets at one of the wall of Eodred near Northbridge fired at something.
Oh.
Oh.
That's concerning.
Yeah. People say there was two... there was lanterns shutting yellow light in the water, and then whatever it was sunk beneath the water. Joe, you might know something about this because you work at the docks. I will allow you to roll, I guess, knowledge local again on this one.
Okay.
Specifically. Only you, because you were a dock worker and would know this. Normally it would be profession sailor, but I'd let you do this.
Ugh.
So... Yeah, you're not sure. You had heard that, you know, yellow seems unusual. Normally you don't use a yellow light, so you're not sure what it's for. But that does sound unusual for a ship to be using that. But it sounds as though whatever was going on, the ship was sank by the city. And they've been securing the area around Northbridge a little bit more.
Odd.
Mm-hmm.
I could check on that when we get back.
I also was just gonna say you could ask Screeching Bird.
Yeah, well, that.
Get stuff from him.
Do I? Is this before we leave?
It could be.
Okay, yeah, I'll ask Screeching Bird
I mean,
what the yellow light might mean.
Yeah, I was thinking about it during our preparation, not
Yeah.
just in case something might happen because of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he's heard of it, I'll say. It's a common method for inner sea trade routes to identify a ship under quarantine.
Oh.
Ooh. I will let people know.
After that, Northford has been locked down. Okay, there may be a disease. Oh gosh, gray faces.
Oh shit.
Oh, nice.
Oh my
be
god, I
something
wouldn't
he's
even
sick.
connected that.
Honestly speaking, since I don't think any of you had Profession Sailor, I wasn't going to have any of you check on that, but Joe works at the docks. He actually has a chance of overhearing this crap.
Yeah.
You specifically made a character that might know this. Congratulations.
Yeah, and I also said specifically I started like working with the captains helping with shipments and stuff. So that actually makes sense.
Yeah. You specifically made a character that would know this thing right now. So congratulations. Yes. There was a basically plague ship apparently that was sunk in the waters near Northbridge.
Yeah, for them just to sink it, it's gotta be a bad plague.
Bro, we're gonna get fucking water ghouls invading this place.
Those are a thing, technically.
Yeah.
We fought them in Skulls and Shackles. Actually, those are the first thing. One of the first things Joe's character fought, and then he got paralyzed for like on the first hit.
I like to bring up bad memories.
And then I had a
Joe get paralyzed in first fight.
I had a dimension dorm out of the water, otherwise he's gonna fucking drown.
Well, this wasn't my first fight that I got paralyzed, at least.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Well, anyway, with that information, and you will still be able to pass through Northbridge, but it's the kind of thing that's heavily guarded and locked down. So, yeah, a lot of eyes would have been there. You can definitely tell if you try to take Trinia through the Northbridge, she probably would have been noticed. It is well secured.
Yeah, they'd be inspecting everyone to make sure that they're not sick or something. They'd probably spot a face in the meantime.
It's you really can't see any signs of people looking for plague, but it looks as though they are just checking people and seeing where you're coming from and stuff like that, and paperwork and all that kind of stuff. So
Okay. Yeah. Something going on. But I assume there's some kind of disease, and I think that's where the gray faces thing comes in.
anyway,
Okay.
we'll leave it there as you'll finish your escorting of Trinia next time. We'll have you end off where the rest of you are leaving the city to meet up with Ada down the road a little bit. So yeah.
Enjoy your combat without me.
Now. You'll meet with them before then. Then the combat will occur. No. Maybe.
Who says we're fighting anyone?
Look,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Combat, arguably.
Nothing's gonna go wrong.
Nothing is going to go wrong.
What could
Everything's gonna
possibly
be
go
fine.
wrong? You think a bunch of gray maidens are gonna roll up on us and be like, "Get punked, idiot"?
Gray Maiden's probably not.
No, because they'd kill us.
Yeah.
Is that what V4 is on the map? Anyway.
Anyway, why don't we give shout-outs and stuff as we end for today, and move out. Joe, anything to shout out? Exactly. So, anything to shout out?
The show next week, 9 o'clock EST.
Yeah, good time, good place.
Either or be circle.
Oh man, circle.
I'm gonna be a rhombus.
I banned that.
Fine,
That's
a
just a square
dodecahedron.
but tilted. I'll
Liam,
be a trapezoid.
and
No, I
a
don't
shout
wanna
out.
be that's a trap.
You can't say that.
Was it me?
Yes. And shout out.
Shout out to a cat that's trying to turn me into a jungle gym. There you go. Jungle gym cats.
God, I just noticed that the interface for Roll20 is completely different on the side here for me.
Yeah.
Yes, they
It's
fully
been like
rolled
that
out
for a
their
bit.
The
new
beta.
UI.
I-
They fully rolled out their UI now.
Yeah, I didn't go into. I hadn't used it until now. Like now, it actually just did it for me. Momo.
You can turn it back originally if you want.
I don't think you can anymore. I think it's fully rolled out now.
No, you can turn it back off.
Yeah, they're always gonna keep the toggle off because it's
Oh, okay.
the UI stuff is easy to have just a toggle.
It's just my beta features
Okay.
are off, but they're on. Whatever, it doesn't matter right now. Anyway, yeah, Momo.
I shout out you, the viewers, because you're doing pretty great, and also Tantus' blindness.
Yeah. I got a lot of that. And,
Poor eyes.
Worm.
I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or at DiamondWorm on Twitter. I'll be a cylinder.
Okay. Momo, roll me a D100.
Oh God, why me? Alright, there you go.
Thank you. Okay. Anyway.
Boss.
Myself, Tanzanaravan Dracovin. I'm here most days on a normal week. This has been the kind of week off to get new computers set up. Hey, if you might notice, I increased like the quality of the stream because I can now stream OBS at higher numbers and it doesn't like drop frames and stuff like that. Oh my. I didn't change the frames, but like all like the other stuff.
You're welcome.
Hey, look, you know, I'm no longer at 720. I'm now 1080.
Oh
You know?
shit!
Oh my
Much like
god.
Nintendo, you're slowly evolving
I know.
into modern technology.
Hey, the Nintendo Switch is only 720p if it's
True.
not
Tantus
hooked up.
is more advanced than a Nintendo Switch.
Woo!
Well, it's 1080 if it's in the console, but then it runs like dog shit.
It does run like shit if it's docked.
But yeah, I'll be back on Saturday for discussing tabletop. Definitely, I'm not sure about the morning stream, and then next week we'll be back to more of a normal schedule. Tabletop stuff usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, early afternoons, Saturdays, late mornings, and then gaming streams Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Everything that's tabletop goes up on YouTube. And yes, I have social media of Discord and Twitter. That's it. All right, everybody. I'm gonna as I said, I'm gonna do more computery stuff the next couple of days. I hope to see you all on Saturday, and of course next week for more Crimson Queen. I really love the show and enjoy playing it, and you know, it's fun. And you know, I've got already next week's material because I went through most of part 1 and set it up, and guess what? You got through like part of part 1. Part 1 was easy to set up.
Weird.
Part 2 and part 3 will be a little bit more work. You know, it's like some talky parts and then a dungeon or 2 eventually.
Ooh, dungeon.
I want to point out, we're rolling progressively more dice and getting progressively lower numbers.
Yes.
I got it. I'm gonna break the trends.
Mhm.
There you go.
See?
I rolled a
Anyway.
99.
Anyway,
Jesus.
bye everybody. Farewell.
Bye.